Welcome back. We're on Danger Island. There are cannibals. Lana is finally the princess she deserves, and Archer is still boning people. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, it's your favorite ladies back in the house. It's time for Archer. Once again, taking trips into the distant past.
I don't understand what's happening.
Where are we? Some French island.
Yeah.
Colonizers are here and they're terrible. Oh my god. But we're back. My girl Alexis.
Questions. Hi, I'm Alexis Torres. Oh my god.
More beautiful than ever.
But I don't understand. We're gonna get into it, but I also just don't understand what's happening. Help me.
We're gonna get into it. If you're in the chat, pipe up. Tell us what you think. You guys are really good at finding these sub-layers and texts and clues, and we love you for that.
Tell me.
Tell
me.
Let's just
tell me.
Right in here. What year do you think we're in?
No, don't even ask me these questions.
What year?
Joelle.
Come on.
I don't know. I'm gonna say. Oh god, I don't even know, because it's always tough when you start going into like European history, because it could be at any time. Maybe before World War II? Maybe? Question mark?
Like,
I don't know.
have you seen South Pacific?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I feel like this is the era we're in. I'm getting a lot of South Pacific. I'm getting a lot of Casablanca.
Yeah.
So we're looking at mid-30s to early 40s.
Yeah, because I definitely don't think it's past the 50s yet. I definitely think it's
for sure
way
not.
before that.
We're looking at
and I don't think, because we just did the 20s, technically. Yeah, so I feel like now we're kind of...
20s, 30s mob era.
So now we're kind of like going a little bit further.
Next era.
Yeah.
Archer does not appear to be a spy this go round.
I mean...
Which really shakes up our foundations here. Archer has always been some kind of spy, or a PI, or a secret agent, or a government man. Like, he's run the gambit.
I mean, this is kind of... I mean, yes, he's not a spy, but he's definitely still an adventurer going on dangerous missions. Still, but definitely not a spy. I'm going to say smuggler for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Smuggler.
Because we technically had a drug arc earlier, so I guess, question mark? I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting, is kind of like a... not Indiana Jones, because not like architecture, but the fact that it's like some sort of smuggling and taking care of like certain clients and stuff like that for Mama. So
oh god, we're gonna get into that. This show and its mother issues.
I just don't understand.
Jesus.
Oh lord.
But we're definitely looking at like a French colonized island.
Yes.
Lana's character, y'all, I wrote it out phonetically.
Her name?
Princess Lana Lula Kailani.
Okay.
Kailani?
So Lua in Polynesian, I believe it means moon. I could be wrong, but I thought from remembering from my own, like, I don't know why I did that. My own history, from my like Polynesian Pacific Island like history, I believe Lua means moon, and then I think Kalani is like sky or sea or both. So it doesn't really make sense for it to be. I mean, I don't know what Lana means. I haven't looked that up, but I know that like. It's like Lana Moon Sky or Moon Sea or something of that nature.
She is everything.
Pretty much,
It's why I feel like that name is telling us.
She's the moon and the earth, I guess. I don't really know.
She's all things goddess supreme.
Yeah. But I just thought it was funny that like they made her name very Polynesian by like squishing everything together, and I was like, really, y'all? That's what we're okay. All right.
I mean, here we are. We're two black women. We can't not get into it.
Yeah.
Let's just so we're gonna take she's been a black woman this whole time on this show.
And now we
met her parents 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
So we know for sure black.
Yeah, she's definitely black, and then now
we're just making
we're just a native. Like not even giving her like an actual like this is what you are. Like no. She's just colored, and I'm like, why?
No, look, I feel like. I'm still trying to figure out where I feel on animated things and how, like, where that line needs to be and how do we look at it. I feel like at least they didn't dress her up in any kind of costuming.
Lord. But her intro is her doing a hula dance, and I was just like, all right, sure, make the one brown person on this show.
Representative of indigenous people, which are totally different issues and things.
That's why I didn't understand. I'm like, are we in Hawaii right now? Is that what's happening?
See, her character
or some sort of
reminds
Polynesian,
me of
like
the last like Hawaiian princess whose name I cannot remember right now
her either. But yeah,
she's very famous. There's definitely a movie made about her, like maybe 10 years ago. That's pretty good. She was trying to bridge the world of like her old cultural world with the new European colonizers. And I think she marries a white guy, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
To things.
It kind of makes sense for Lana's situation. She's bringing in this. I don't even know what to call Cyril here. It's German, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I love how that's switched now because Krieger's usually the one that speaks German.
Now Krieger's a macaw.
I just don't understand.
Guys, we're have to dive into Krieger being a macaw. But yeah, so it's interesting. They dressed her up in like safari gear.
Yeah.
Essentially, she sort of burst onto the scene, making commands. I believe the conversation. Oh my god, don't do this brain names. Blonde, usually gay, sometimes wheelchair.
Not Ryan. Oh my God! Why?
Roy. Thank you.
Roy. No, Ray.
No, Ray.
Ray.
There we go. I was like,
I was close.
Ray.
I went from 4 letters to 3 letters. And I just missed one. Ray.
Ray, whose character development I also love this season. The character changes that we're seeing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I believe my French is very rusty, y'all, but I believe she says something to the effect of like, why? Like she greets him in a native tongue. I don't know what language it is. He responds in French. And she goes, "Why are we speaking French?" And he's like, "It's the official language." And she says, "I believe that we'll talk about that later." So kind of coming in on boss bitch status, as we've always known Lana to be.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm cool. And then the fact that those two have always kind of been cool, but also kind of like catty with each other at the same time. So it feels like we kind of just picked off where we left off, but with like 4 to 5 different languages now being thrown into the mix. So,
you know, Lana, I like, look, it's clear that deep down their personalities haven't changed. They're kind of just giving them a new skin to play in. Which will set up new limitations as a princess. I think we'll be getting into, unfortunately, what I think is going to be a more of the European definition of princesses, which is, you know, kind of in charge, pouty, maybe a little pompous.
I would assume.
And very powerful, which we know is not always the case. Brown princesses, especially as we have colonization happening. Hopefully we get into some of these themes. I do not know.
I really don't know.
It's going to be something I'm watching closely throughout the season.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't really know where they're going with this season at all. Because before we kind of got like an inclination of like what we were going to get. And we're like, okay, clearly we're going to be dealing with, you know, it's Miami Vice. We're going to be dealing with drugs. We're doing a mob story. So clearly there's going to be a lot of murder or some sort of thing happening.
Singer and everything. Yeah,
and that makes sense for Lana. But here, I'm kind of like, okay, there's literally no other way. It would have to be colonizing, but you don't know where from left field.
There's not a specific genre upon which this era exists.
Yeah. Or I thought they got shipwrecked. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were they were on like a cruise or something or a mission and they got stuck on an island and then they had to figure it out. But when they said Lana was a princess, I was like, okay, either A, that she became a princess because they're like, oh, she's the only person of color in this group. She has to be a princess. Or the fact that I didn't really know what they were gonna do. So this was completely different for me.
Yeah.
So
again, I'm trying to figure out if touches of Casablanca, which I mentioned before.
Yeah.
I think a Les Mis reference or two. Just going through the French, I'm not quite sure what the when Charlotte gets locked up. He's like, you get one. Is it?
You get one. I thought.
Rutabaga beet.
Oh, turnip. You get a turnip.
You get one turnip.
Yeah, I didn't understand that reference either.
Like Les Mis, I stole a loaf of bread. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching.
I think you are.
These are the kinds of like eras we're looking at. So for these, I'm not sure if we're pre or post war. At this point, that's kind of vague. South Pacific is post-war. It's a musical about the soldiers returning home, and they're in Hawaii in the South Pacific.
Yeah. Renji in the chat says maybe this is before Hawaii became part of the U.S., so it was still kind of indigenous.
That coincides with our princess. That's the same era she ruled.
Yeah, and also at the same time, Renji said maybe Archer Gilligan's Island, ?
Now, Gilligan's Island would be
still
appreciated.
A shipwreck. Yeah,
that was
definitely a shipwreck. So
and
I don't know.
Mallory owns a hotel, so let's start getting into a little bit of the story.
Yeah.
So, Mallory is in the hotel. She owns it. So I'm trying to think of the types of people who are in Hawaii that are not soldiers that are Caucasian at this time.
I would assume just rich people in general.
Well, but it's not the destination island that we know it to be.
Not anymore. Yeah, not right now. Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of people. I don't know if they're avoiding the war. She's running an illegal gambling
maybe.
thing down there.
Yeah. Maybe mostly military or something.
That's also very possible.
Oh.
I know that there's a character like this in South. I have to rewatch South Pacific so I can maybe get more specific.
I haven't watched that in a minute, so I'm like, I don't remember anything.
But I remember there being an older woman there who was kind of running things and holding down the fort. Military mom? I don't know. I have questions. What is Mallory really doing? Where do the French come in? Because Mallory's clearly American.
Yeah.
We've got Ray out here, like one of the lieutenants from Casablanca, just making demands, storming into hotels, shutting things down. But most of all, we have Archer, who's still up to his old ways. What did you think of this introduction to this season?
I thought it was funny because I love that Pam was the one that was kind of like narrating.
Oh my God.
Also, Pam has... Okay, we've talked about this before. We've seen Pam's weight change quite a bit in the past recent seasons. We went from her being just her normal self, and then we got Coke Pam, which was crazy to see her in a more skinnier form, but it didn't matter because she was back.
Pam and she's still glorious.
Yeah, so that's fine. And then we got like hardcore, like not hardcore spy Pam, but she was doing more missions and stuff, which was really cool. And then we had her that was in more of a...
I guess gender neutral.
Yeah,
Pam.
gender neutral Pam in the last season, and then this one you can clearly tell that she is extremely butch, which is fine.
It's actually really great.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let you guys know.
I love how big she is now. I love those like you can land a plane on those shoulders. That's how big they are.
Could.
Like they look like they're like her wingspan is like 6 feet.
She also looks like she could hurl Archer.
Yeah, like all the way, like across the island. Like he would reach the other side.
She kind of reminds me of like if we're looking at this era of films, we have like a lot of manservants at this time following people around. I think as we get into the woods, it's going to become more like a cave exploration. Like if you remember or can recall early 50s shows with kind of corny narrators. Like big adventure drama.
Yeah,
especially with this giant propeller plane, which sets off like feelings of Indiana Jones and other things.
It gives me the feels.
I have a feeling we're more in the late 40s post-war.
Sure.
And headed toward early 50s. I have a feeling. Really
I mean, even like the way that Charlotte was dressed too, it kind of seemed like we were like right on the cusp of like 40s and 50s.
Mallory's dressed too, the flowers with that kind of pale blue,
Yeah.
which is Mallory's kind of always shown in the sleek but matronly designs.
No, correct. Like hers is she's a little bit more sexy in this outfit, and I feel like it's kind of getting close to Flapper-esque. So maybe I'm not quite sure.
I really like that we have no idea what's happening here.
No, like I have no idea because it's a complete 180 from what we just saw last season because we were in a different era with a different arc completely. At least for the other past seasons, we were kind of on the same track. We just kind of changed the times.
Let's get into some Mallory, mother, as it were.
Mama.
What's up with Mano? Is she sleeping with him? Because that was my first thought.
I would assume so. Unless he's just like, he just really likes to call her that.
I think he definitely seemed to like just pissing Archer off, which who wouldn't? If you're that easy to like frizzle, like it's fun.
It's so,
But he also maybe had, because then when Archer asked Mallory about it, he was like, so hey, this is weird and I don't like it. And she's like, why
does it bother you? And I was like, all right, Mallory, keep it in your skirt. All right.
I mean, Mallory, if you're nailing Mano, good for you.
No,
like,
I mean,
you go get that.
Yeah, I mean, even Pam was like, I'd destroy that. I mean, I don't think it was her exact line, but she was close.
I think she did say that, and then he was like, so would I. She's like, I meant sexually. I did not.
All right, Archer.
Archer, you would be lucky. I bet if Mano, we've seen Archer, never as gay, but just very flattered to be liked. Like,
he doesn't
being
care.
Stroked is not a problem for him. So I'm sure if Mano did flip, he would be about it. What shenanigans is Mallory getting up to this season?
I think that she's clearly using the hotel up for a front for something. I just don't know what it is yet because the time era is throwing me off. Definitely think that she's sleeping with Mano. Like, that is her toy for sure, and he's clearly okay with it.
He's having a lot of fun.
I mean, he's probably like, I've got nothing better to do. It's better than being outside, so Yay! I mean, yeah, I think definitely that the hotel's being used for a front, because clearly she's really close with the law and law enforcers.
Yeah.
Because Ray seemed like he's like, why are you just shooting up this hotel? What's happening? Also, I know that you're gambling. So I don't know. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. Maybe it's like a, because I don't know. Is gambling illegal at this point in time?
Well, in Casablanca, that's the part of the issue. It's like the French keep coming in to shut the place down.
So maybe that's
things like that.
I mean, that's all I can think of. But I feel like there has to be more than that.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Cheryl, Carol, Charlotte.
Okay.
Once again in bed with Archer.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2. What is happening with her? Well, now her non-existent love life at this point in time. But I did not understand. Also, if you're ever in a situation where you do not have your passport to go anywhere, you are boned. Like, you cannot go anywhere. Nowadays, you can. There are other things that you can use.
A lot of outlets.
A lot of outlets that you can use. But back in this day, you didn't have an ID, mail, and do all these other things that you can, like, present to fly somewhere, especially if you're on a remote island. That's not happening. So, one, the fact that they really got, like, not island time, but, like, island resources and how long it takes to get there, really, like, it was just like a thumbs up.
A ship will be here in a month.
Yeah.
It'll take you a week to get to your destination.
Yeah, and she was just like, what is happening? I'm like, no, this is true.
This is real. This is what happens.
That is exactly what happens. That's why if you do go to Hawaii now and you live there, milk is like $13, like a gallon.
Good
because
God.
it's not made there. You have to get it from the mainland, which is here. So
holy hell, that is so much money.
$13 for a gallon of milk. It's BS.
No one's drinking milk here, okay? I think we grow almonds on the islands. You can have almond milk. That's it. Children, we're poor. Cheryl Carroll is a socialite.
As per usual.
Has come to celebrate her honeymoon.
Which she definitely did by herself / with Archer.
Yeah, she gets drunk. She winds up having sex with Archer, her fiance, who... Was her fiance Mallory's old beau?
Yeah. No, I recognized him, but
he was the one that they put an implant in his head, right?
Is it?
And he went as a rabbit? I thought that's who it was. The way he was enunciating his words was weird like that, guys.
Oh, maybe. Because I know he was recognizable, but I could not put a name. So I was like, I know that you're important. I just don't remember. And clearly we're not going to see the last of him either.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that was Mallory's old beau, the one that turned into a rabbit.
I think so.
Yeah. He's always got that weird diction.
Yeah.
So it was weird to see him with Cheryl Carroll. First of all, I was not a fan of this pairing. It's really weird and gross.
Yeah.
Glad he just came and went after trying to tell Mallory off. I like it when people try to read Mallory because our girl cannot be destroyed.
No, I was like, yeah, if you come for Mallory, she ain't gonna, no.
She will destroy you.
Yeah, no, just straight up. And I just think it's really funny when people try. I'm just like, okay.
Mr. Whitney Stratton the Fourth is who we're talking about. So, yeah, clearly he's gone back to the mainland to tell the world about Cheryl Carroll Charlotte's. I'm going to say it every time.
No, because we have to.
I don't know what her name is.
Yeah, her name changes every season. Sometimes every episode. Yep. I can't keep track.
To talk about her exploits, which of course means her career as socialite is done. Although we're now moving into, there's an era in the 20s and 30s where you could be a wild lady. The 40s capped that, so she's now, if we're looking at the 40s, that's not so acceptable anymore. The 50s are going to be rough, but she could make a comeback in the 60s, a la Jane Fonda.
Yes. That would be dope.
Right? Yeah. Come back, be Barbarella. Be bad and sexy.
Wow.
And then join the Black Panthers.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot of options.
I want it. Yeah. Archer writers, do the things and the stuff.
Yeah, I would love to have a Black Panther season where a Black Panther. Movie.
Correct.
Activists. Yeah. Those people, because Lana was already
she was
part of the organization, so it'd be really cool to get just a whole season of Lana being a badass. Archer would be driving his like Steve McQueen style cars and like high turtlenecks. It would really like be quintessential to the show.
We want it. Okay,
we're just asking politely.
Politely,
you know,
please.
No aggression here.
Please.
Sorry. I like that fornication is not a problem. Infidelity is not a problem
because they're French. You should have saw that coming. He was like, "Oh, there's adulterers here." Yeah, you should know. We're French. we don't care.
Consensual buggery, on the other hand.
Apparently that's a no-go.
Hard no.
That's a hard, just a big bowl of nope. Just a big honey bunch of bowls of nope.
Yes. Let's discuss Krieger as a macaw.
Yo, I don't know what to do, but I love how the show and the characters are like, he's a parrot.
He talks. Don't question it.
And I was just like, okay, I guess that was for us then. Just to be like, all right, cool.
It's very much Family Guy had a musical episode where they explain the fact that neighbors can hear Stewie, but the family can't, and don't question that anymore.
Yeah,
the baby can talk.
We're just
it's
like,
okay.
All right, cool. We all know. We're all on the same page now. But I like how they did that in the first episode. Like, within the first few minutes, they were just like, he's a parrot.
Deal.
That's what they do. And I just like, all right, so I guess that's just, because I guess you can't have a scientist in this era for some question marking reason, so sure, I guess we'll just make him into a parrot.
Krieger as an animal is going to be very interesting because mostly when we see Krieger, he's an evil scientist. We had the dogs last season where he was German, he was using the robotic canines to be like attack dogs.
Oh, cool.
Amazing.
And my nightmare.
We saw him with clones the season before that, where he was very actively trying to figure out if these were his brothers, if he was part of a clone thing that got away.
God, Krieger
that whole line
up.
never really got resolved, but I still loved it.
Yeah.
So I try to figure out what makes him different as an animal and where we're going to be going, because mostly his objectives tend to be furthering science or getting off sexually, and his weird different types of kinks.
Yo, I don't trust birds.
I don't trust birds either. I'm terrified of them.
I think that they know more than
dinosaur remnants. No.
Yeah, no. I think that they know more than they let on, and I don't appreciate it. Like, crows are so smart. It freaks me. It just freaks me the hell out.
They hold grudges, dude.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
Unacceptable.
And they learn, like, and it's just like, no. I mean, that's great for them, but not for me. I don't appreciate it. Also, I also have seen the birds way too many times for it to be healthy. I can't. So
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah. So I think that there is going to be shenanigans, but it's going to be hard because Krieger's very to the T with his shenanigans. Like, you know what to expect from him. It's either going to be a lot of torture, B, a lot of sexual torture, or C, it's just science all the time. We can't really get that with a parrot. I just feel like he's just gonna annoy the crap out of the crew.
If we get really into the jungle, like I think we will, and we get into temples and maybe, exploring, I think he'll make animal packs and start having animals do wild things and be weird and freaky in that way.
Oh, that'd be weird.
I'm excited and very nervous. Krieger is a wild out there character. Yeah. Let's talk very quickly about the old Loosey Goosey, which I think might be a reference to the Spruce Goose. Now, the Spruce Goose was a plane that Howard Hughes built.
Oh.
He said he was going to build it on, like, a timeline of, like, a couple of months. It took years to build. It was made entirely out of wood and could not fly.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
He tried to launch it. It's like this huge, like, giant ship size almost. So here you can see this, like, black and white image on the screen in a minute. Yeah. If you're listening, you should definitely take a minute to look it up. I think there's some really old footage of it.
Oh, I need to look that up.
So this, like, our ship only had 2 propellers. Obviously, it was made of wood. This has 8 propellers.
Dear God.
Because, again, it's a behemoth. Yeah. But it just, the fact that it never worked, it was notorious for being an awful plane. I think that's where we're getting the loosey-goosey
for sure
from.
That makes sense.
Which I thought was like a really fun reference.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of old TV shows and movies back in that time where we had like a puddle jumper type of plane, you know, well, not puddle jumper, but you know what I mean, like those type of ones that you see that are mostly going from island to island, they usually don't work very well.
Yeah,
so
they're all loud and clanky.
Yeah,
and rivets pop out. They're constantly falling out of the sky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, they're always falling out of the sky. It doesn't matter what the scenario is.
Danger.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I'm like, this isn't Fantasy Island where it just takes off and everything's fine.
No, this
like,
is
that's
Danger Island.
This is Danger
Island.
Island.
Go down.
Yeah, like pretty much every plane. So, so as soon as they showed that plane, I was like, oh, this one's gonna be like the clunker where it's just not gonna work ever.
Listen, guys, if you don't want to sink, if you need to reach new heights and fly and flap your wings like a damn beautiful bird,
that we all think is crazy.
we've got a podcast for you to help you fly the straight and narrow. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every single Friday on iTunes. Woo! That's tomorrow, so y'all have no excuse not to listen.
Correct.
From health, wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us. That's the Archer After Hannah.
That's us.
You know, she knows me and Alexis. You can just say our names, but just let her know who it was that sent you there.
That's us.
Okay? Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out. I'm getting my life to it every Friday morning. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I turn on Maria, I hear the good news. Archer is not hearing a lot of good news. Once again, in love with Lana. Once again, she does not see him.
No, she's like, I don't see you. I have more important things to deal with.
I'm a princess. I'm going to colonize my own community. Like, I know we already talked a little bit about Lana and the colorization and just representation on that front, but we also have to talk about what she is doing as that princess. Like, if we're going to just take her wholly as the indigenous princess she is, why are you inviting a plantation? This is not 1900. You know what happens. I have questions, girl.
I think, well, okay. We both love Lana.
We do, so much.
But we also understand the flaws of Lana, where sometimes she thinks that she's helping, but she really isn't. And she doesn't realize it until it's already, it's already too late. Sometimes that's mostly because of Archer, usually causing and putting things into her head or just messing her up and she's not thinking clearly. But in this scenario, Lana's already starting off, and I'm like, all right, you need to fix this.
You could not go down this road.
I also feel like Cyril is not going to stay or be alive at some point, because I feel like he's going to either A, get captured, or B, he's going to get eaten by cannibals.
Pussy.
Yeah. Straight up.
I have to get the jacket for myself, or the parachute.
I know. So, and he wouldn't help Lana put hers on. And he was like,
I brought you out here to help. If you're going to be this cowardly, I don't have to give you anything.
No, I would have just kicked him out of the plane. I'm like, all right, bye.
Yeah, right? No.
Yeah. Yeah, hell no. Just hell no.
I'm sure we'll be running into the cannibals, the Muamua soon.
Yep, very closely.
Which I, again, have mixed feelings about. There are cannibal tribes out there. It would be interesting to see if they want to do an actual deep exploration of a cannibal tribe, or if it's going to be a parody of some sort, or hopefully they're not cannibals at all, but just really angry and hate people.
Maybe they're just really hangry, not like for human flesh, just in general. Like, they just need like actual food. Like, Lana has been a terrible princess apparently, and is just not feeding her people. I don't know what's happening.
To wrap up the storyline, they're on the ship. They save themselves at Archer's request. He sends everybody off the boat and says,
which is nice.
Yeah, it's off the plane. It's one of the nicest things Archer. It does float.
Yeah.
It's one of the nicer things Archer has ever done. Maybe since they went down in the submarine to check out the undersea wreck, and he sends everybody up. He almost dies, and then he learns Lana's pregnant with his baby.
What a crazy story.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
It is
good. Wild, and it has Jean and Louise in it from Bob's Burgers.
So it was really cool to kind of like, I mean, we didn't have Linda, but like we had everybody else kind of all together, which was really, really nice. I also love from the Miami Vice one when she's already pregnant. And they're in the cellar together, and they're just talking, and they're having a moment, and Lana's like thinking about getting back together with him, because she's like, I don't want to do this by myself. And I was like, oh, and he's like, I'll take care of you, I promise. And I was like, and then it just all goes to shit after that, because it's Archer.
Oh, I just realized we won't have a baby AJ this season.
Why would you do this? Why would you have Lana get pregnant, have a baby that we had for 2 seasons,
and then 2 seasons
and take her out?
I miss baby AJ. Like, I just wish she had been like a little blue Ivy getting involved in things, like side-eyeing
I would
her
have
mom
loved to
and
see
dad.
her, to actually become like a toddler and be like a brat.
If you think about Beyonce and Jay-Z in this world, they would be Lana and Archer.
They would be Lana and Archer. Yeah, straight up.
Just be like, that's too funny.
I love it.
So poor baby AJ, that's okay. At the last minute, he just taps the fuel gauge, and
he Fonzied it.
He did Fonzie it.
Yeah, he was like,
he just said A, and then
it worked.
The plane, which was going to crash, did not crash. He takes off. That is the end of our episode. Let's get into a couple of really quick references.
Yay, references!
So, I already mentioned the French, which is essentially Lana calling somebody out for not being able to speak her indigenous language, even though she lives on the island, which is really dope.
Yep. I called out her name, her Hawaiian Polynesian name.
Once Cyril is talking to Pam on the plane, and he says, you have fists like, I'm going to really try Deutschen Schinken?
Sure, yeah.
That is a canned ham in Germany, which I was like, A, great description.
Yeah.
B, I would never have known. I did have to look that up.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Just randomly laughing in the background. What are you laughing at?
Cams. It's so great. We talked about the Casablanca references with the hotel being closed down, the costuming on Ray, the gambling, all of that part of it. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think the parrot might also have a link to something, but I could not find it.
I mean, because one, I also want to know what's going on with his eye patch, Archer, because we didn't get into that.
How did you lose your eyes?
Yeah, I want to get the history on that. I'm like, is Barry on this island or somehow, and he lost your eye through that? Like, how are we gonna put him into the story?
I'm gonna be on the Reddit pages tonight looking up the references because those guys are really quick, and hopefully they can recommend some movies that might also be in reference, or at least same general time period. Maybe this is a part of my movie knowledge I'm missing. Yeah. But I want to get filled in because I feel like there's a lot more that I'm missing. We'll try to bring up, and we'll update this category as we go throughout the season.
Renji thinks that Krieger's just going to be the Scooby-Doo of this show. This
shut
time.
up. That's so smart. How dare you? You're so intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I mean, it makes sense, you know, for him to just kind of like, yeah, exactly, be kind of like the comic relief pretty much. But now it's going to be just like a dirty version of it. So it'll be interesting.
I'm really, truly here for that. Let's wrap up with some predictions. Yeah.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
Rat, snake, snake, rat.
Oh my god, that was so frustrating. I was like, pick a thing, communicate. You guys are the worst.
Rat, snake sounds better. I'm just going to say it to the ear. Go with that one.
Yep.
Next week's previews look ridiculous.
Yeah,
Cyril's caught up by a snake. There's foraging through the jungle. What do we think is in store for the crew this season?
I don't know if we're gonna see our cannibals this episode. I feel like we're just gonna get lost. I think,
and it seems like episode 3-4 thing.
Yeah, and I don't know how Ray got there. I would like to know how that happened, because if there's only one plane on the island, are you taking a car? How does this work?
Walk into the forest.
Yeah, you're just like, oh no, we were already here. I don't know, because they were at the hotel and they left. So I was like,
also, they were flying over the ocean for what seemed like a while. Were they still on the same island?
Wow. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because he said that, like, because when Archer was like, oh, this island isn't as big as you think it is. I would think that I would have known or seen you somewhere. And she's like, nope. And I was like, okay. That was not really a great answer, but okay.
I still have questions.
Yeah, I'm like, the island looks pretty big. I feel like you can go your whole life and not know that there's like the other side of it. Especially if there's a bunch of cannibals on the other side, you're never gonna go there. So I don't know. I have too many questions for that, but I definitely think that Ray's gonna come in and try to help something, and I'm not quite sure what to do about Charlotte right now because she's left there with Mallory, so...
In the preview for her, she was still in her cage smearing what I believe was her feces on the wall in a giant circle, which is very her. Very her, but probably everybody left her, so she's just locked up alone in that thing.
If she's in this cell for the entire season, I will crack up, because I'll be like, they're like, we don't really know what to do with Charlotte this season, so we're just going to leave her to her own devices, and she'll just have her own BC story happening.
I love that.
And we'll just leave it to that, and she'll just like,
I just imagine Mallory going down there and loving
and be like, good God,
like a captive listener, just telling all these wild, crazy stories when I was in the Resistance. Oh God.
No, I mean, I feel, oh Lord, I feel like also that she will end up sleeping with what's his face, the one with the good butt.
Who's usually for Team Russia?
No. Mallory's boy toy.
Menno.
Yeah, Menno. Wait.
I spelled it. Hold on.
Mano, thank you. That he's gonna go. There was too many. That's what I was saying. That Mano will go down there to like give her food or something. She'll probably convince him in some way before the feces part and sleep with him, and then Mallory's gonna find out and she's gonna be pissed.
And that's why she gets locked up.
Yep.
That makes sense. Or stays locked up, I should say.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And then Mano, I mean, I'm hoping that he doesn't get like, kicked off not the show, but like gets killed or something really dumb. But I feel like that's how that altercation will end up.
Look forward to seeing how Princess Kalani, how she rules her island. If we see her people, if we get some understanding of why you would invite a plantation to your prestigious, like, clean island, it still does not make sense to me. I have questions, but I know we're gonna get all of our questions answered. is an interesting first start off. It's hard. I'm like excited, but also like
concerned,
apprehensive. Last season was wildly dark. I was not expecting most of the turns we took last season. I was expecting us just to end on a death. We kept talking all season. We're like, but surely they wrap up into the previous season, which is a Hollywood season.
Right. It has to come back.
Like suddenly, like this is a dream because he was shot. He's just in a coma, and we're just waiting for. No. He's just, and he died here too. Oh. Okay, so it's clearly there are no rules on the table.
I mean, I guess because he died, it was just kind of like, all right, I guess we're starting over, kind of, not really. I don't know.
Look, I appreciate a show that's willing to take risks, and the fact that Archer's like, you know what, this season we're just gonna try a new skin, and we're gonna see how we feel in it.
And you know what, I'm cool with it.
I'm down for the ride.
I'm down for the ride, but I still have questions.
I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, but I'm here for it. Artistic integrity and all that. It's dope. So congratulations on the opening. Thank you guys for joining us for Danger Island. First episode, Stranger Pilot. Until next week, Alexis, where can the folks find you?
You guys can find me all over social media at Torres890. That's ATORRES 890. Check out this awesome podcast that I'm a part of called The Nerd Soul. We do it every 2 weeks. We just had one. There should be one coming out either this Saturday or next. So definitely check that out because it's pretty dope.
Yeah, that Michael, he's great.
He is.
I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique. I got some cons coming up, so check my Twitter and Instagram for updates on those. I'm going to be doing a General Thrawn panel as well as a Darkwing Duck panel, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned. Until next week, guys, we've been Joelle and Alexis. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.